Hey everybody, this is Ray again. I'm coming back with you with another video. This is not a rant nor a rave. It is just something to talk about and something that was on my mind I was going to get to the other day. But life's complicated sometimes. You don't get to everything. I appreciate the people that did come and visit my site for my first video. I pray that you still share that video and get it out there, and I hope you will subscribe if you come in for the first time. Subscribe, like, share, and notification. So I'd like to have this channel do well, naturally, because I like talking about different things. What I'm talking about right now is what's going on about photo ID. Now, as far as I can remember, I've always shown an ID to vote. It's not necessarily positive true, really, because I've been voting since I was, let's see, the first time I was allowed to vote. Yeah, since I was probably 18. I think that was my first year of voting in anything. But either way, now what they're trying to pass is an act that requires everybody to show and prove they are a U.S. citizen to vote in our elections. I think that's common sense. It should be common sense for everybody. Now, I've seen people comment on like, you shouldn't have to show your ID. You shouldn't even have to show up. Yes, you should. There's no getting around that. And I've heard all the arguments. Democrats will tell you that this is going to make it so hard on all those black people who can't seem to find a way to get to an ID, photo ID. And trust me, I know black people in our community and people I've worked with and friends I've got, they all got IDs. And it's not that hard getting one of those things. You do have to take some steps. And I'm going to talk a little bit about something that happened in 2005 for people to remember. What I'm talking about is Real ID Act in 2005. I'll just read a little bit about it. The Real ID Act of 2005 is a United States federal law that standardized requirements for driver's license and identification cards. Is issued by U.S. states and territories in order to be accepted for accessing U.S. government facilities, nuclear power plants, and for boarding airline flights in the United States. Now, this was a more secure identification. Now, the requirements include verification of the personal information presented when applying for the identification document, security features on the document, and electronic sharing of databases between states. The Act also made modifications to U.S. immigration law regarding asylum, border, security, deportation, and specific work visas. Now, this stuff was done in 2005. Now, it's like anything else. When I was younger, I had a birth certificate, and that's what I took. And a social security card to go get my learner's license to begin with. And then after that, I don't think I'd take anything, but possibly I did on my driver's. I cannot remember. But that's what I had to do to get a driver's license. I had to prove I was a citizen even back then. I may have had to have I don't think I had to have anything else. It was more of a bare minimum than anything else because there was no problem with immigration at all. And there was no problem of trying to keep terrorists out of the country at that time like they are now. And right now, it's really pitiful. But we've been through this. Now, I will tell you, to get that stuff, let's see what all else, some of the requirements. A lot of amendments, identification documents. Let's see. I will tell you what I had to have, and it may be, if you look it up, it's the Real ID Act, and it will show you. And from state to state, it may be a little bit different on what you got to have exactly. But it's to make sure you have the more secure identification card, which is your driver's license. But when I went, I had to take birth certificate, I had to take my Social Security card, I had to take my driver's license, I had to take 2 or 3 letters, bills, letters, addressed to me. I had to take all that. And but before I had to do that, I had to go replace my birth certificate. And at the health department up here in Tennessee, that's where I was born, I had to go there to get it. And it cost me, I think, $15. And I had to take all that information up there. The whole process probably took about an hour because there were people kind of waiting, you know, how it is. There was people there before me. But got this, and it come back in the mail, and everything was good. Now, I've heard all the sob stories, especially the ones they're doing about women now. This one woman, she's married, she's got 3 kids, she working 2 jobs. She don't know if she's going to be able to afford daycare, and it's all she can worry about. She can't worry about whether she's legal to vote or something. And I'm gonna tell you something. If you were legal to vote before, if you're legal, you know you're legal, and you know you've got everything done. Now, if there's anything you haven't done, check and get it done. But at the same time, this is nothing but a fear porn project that Democrats run on people, and they lie about this stuff. The same way that they lie about black people basically not having the wherewithal to go get photo IDs to present or proof of birth. They can. If they know where they're at, where they were born at, they can go to the health department in that state, whatever it is, and maybe in your own state they can work back and forth. I don't know. But it's not impossible, and it's not very hard. Most of the people who've been through this already are not going to have to go through it again. That woman they're talking about with the 3 kids and married and ain't sure if they're going to get daycare and all this stuff, the lie they're telling there, she ain't going to have to worry about nothing. She had to change her name when she got married. Okay, well, she had to change her name, and everything's okay. You know what I'm saying? My wife's been married twice. I've been married twice. My wife, her marriage didn't last too long at all, so she decided she'd go back to her maiden name, which she did. So she changed her name twice then, and changed her name again when she married me. This is not impossible, and people who argue about this, the only reason they don't want people to have to show an ID or prove they are a citizen of the United States is because they want people who are not to vote. That's my opinion. And I understand people want to help other people and other people from their countries and this and that and everything. But at some point in time, you have to start doing what's right. If you really cared that much, you'd be down there in their countries helping them. But you don't. You don't. There's a list. Let's see where this one's at. Oh, it's on Facebook. You probably can look it up. And it's a list of countries that require voter ID. And tons of them. And they call it democratic countries that they require. Some of them are not democratic countries, but they still require it. Here's Australia's on there, and they were arguing. People said, no, Australia, no, you don't have to. And Austria, but it's on there as well, and they talk about this one, and people were bantering and say, yes, you do, I live in Austria. You have to show an ID. Stuff like that, I don't know. But I do know that no country on this earth wants to allow illegal people to vote in their elections. We don't, and they don't, and it needs to stay that way. And that's why it needs to be done. Now, right now, our population, most of our population wants this to happen. And I'm going to let everybody know out there, people, the Democrats are not going to vote for it. They are going to vote against their entire nation because it's the right thing to do. And you've got Chuck Schumer, even though his other people, the Democrats in the party, want this, he'll still sit there and call it Jim Crow 2.0. He's a fool and an idiot. And it's about time somebody put him in his place. These people are lying. They've always lied, and they're all going to lie. We need safe and secure elections. These other people are just trying to hang on to power. That's all it is. They don't really care that much about you. That's going to be it for tonight. Please watch the video, and I hope you like it. We have to take care of our election integrity, whether you want to or not. If you don't, then you are a Democrat, and that means you want illegals to vote. And that's not good. It's not good. At some point, they may become legal, and it'll be okay. Nobody will complain. But until you quit bringing people here that don't belong here at this moment, we're always going to have this problem. It's the same way with what's going on in Minnesota. It has to be cleaned up. If you will stop the crimes that are being committed during the immigration process, we won't have this problem anymore. And also look and see wherever these riots are happening, look and see who is actually causing these riots. It's not the federal government. It's not ICE. It's the government in that city and or state causing the chaos and the destruction. Okay, that's all I got. Everybody have a great week, and I'll see you at some point down the road. Please like, please share, subscribe, comment. I like to hear your comments. If you call me a fool, that's okay. I've been called worse. So have a great day. Bye-bye.